AITAH for not wanting to rekindle an old friendship. For a little background first, I was friends with girl in high school, we'll call her A. I met her through a mutual friend and we hung out. She was funny and nice, but after a while I started to see she was one of those pick-me girls. You know, the ones that wanna make the conversation all about her, that whines all the time about anything and nothing but won't shut up until they get their way. Basically an attention fray. And apparently I wasn't the only one in our friend group that noticed and didn't like it. Her whole me attitude has gotten so bad we had to plan a Christmas party in secret because we wanted a chance to actually have fun. But somehow she found out about the party and showed up. Well, the piece was fun while it lasted. Well, until my other friend completely had enough of her complaining and talking about herself and screamed for A to shut the F up. The room went silent until I burst into laughter at the outburst. Yes, I know that was mean looking back at the memory from high school. I stormed out and the party continued. When we returned from Christmas break, A was over what happened at the party and we never brought it up. Fast forward months later, I got a boyfriend and he was accepted into our friend group. Here's where the second red flag was placed. During a hangout session with just the girls, I commented that my boyfriend was on her guys she wants to F list. Completely caught all of us off guard. And before anyone asked, I don't remember what we was talking about that led her to say this, but I do know it had nothing to do with sex and I'm not the type of girl to tell anyone what me and my boyfriend do in private. I quickly said, "Excuse you?" She said, looked confused and reply, "A what?" I saw red and was ready to jump up but was stopped. She said she wouldn't really do it, she was just saying. I told her it was foul and disrespectful. It didn't seem to connect why I was so angry. After that I talked to her again. After we all graduated and been out of school for 3 years, I ran into her in a store. She worked there, and I was with my boyfriend, now my husband. She hugged us both and asked how we been lately. We caught up shorty since I didn't want to talk to her long. She asked if we were doing anything this weekend. She wanted to go to a club. My husband was off, but I had to work morning shift. I told her sorry, can't. She tried to convince to come and I firmly told her no. The clubs in my state didn't open till 10 p.m. and I wasn't gonna stay out all night just to be groggy at work. I turned to my husband and asked if he'll go with her and her cousin. She want him to drive them. He told her no promise and we left. As the weekend approached, my husband asked me should he go with them to the club. I told him I wouldn't be mad if he went cause I knew where he lays his head. I trust him, at her I don't trust. He nodded and said I'm not going and didn't want to take the chance of anything happening. He sent her a message on FB and she called me screaming in my ear that I was a killjoy, and a petty BTCH for not letting him go. I screamed back I didn't force him and it was his choice. Long story short, we argued over the phone until I hung up the phone. Debating if I wanted to find her. I got a text from her cousin stating he didn't know anything about my husband joining since they had already left to go. They were getting gas. I responded saying to keep her away from me and my husband. I'm done with her wannabe home wrecking behavior. Here we are today and I received a message from her. She's married with kids now and has moved back into the state. She wanted to be friends again and wanted to go back to how things were in high school. I left the message on read cause we're not in high school anymore. I'm 30 years old with a son myself and I don't have time for a walking drama queen like her, and I've learned not everyone can change. So AITAH.